The road leads up a small hill. From the top, you can see a few farmhouses in the distance. There is smoke rising up from the village, and the battle cries of attacking orcs can be heard even this far off.
Yes?
What is it?
Huh? Understood.
Of course!
Those blasted trumpeters are calling for reinforcements. Not for long. Huh? Huh? Yes? Huh?
What is it?
What is it? Yes? Huh? Yes? Huh?
And what now?
Yes?
What is it?
What is it? Too easy! Huh? Uh-huh.
And what now?
I didn't hit you very hard!
He hardly put up a fight. What is it?
Yes? Yes? Ow! Hey! Another one bites the dust. Uh-huh. Too easy!
What is it?
Huh?
And what now?
Yes? Huh? Huh? What is it? Huh? Vile creature. Yes? Yes? What is it? Huh? Yes? Huh? Too easy! And again! I didn't hit you very hard! Huh? Yeah! Huh? Huh? What is it? Huh? I didn't hit you very hard! Yeah! Huh? Vile creature! Pow! Another one bites the dust! Pow! Yes? Another one bites the dust! Yeah! I didn't hit you very hard! What is it? Huh? Huh? Yeah! Yes?
Yes?
Yeah!
No sooner is the battle won than terrified survivors start to venture out of their hiding places. Women with sheets ripped into strips and buckets of hot water take care of the injured. A man with a blood-encrusted arm approaches you.
My name is Malchius. I am... well, I think that I am now the mayor of this village. Without your help, we wouldn't have been able to stop the orcs. I thank you, and regret that we have nothing to offer you as a reward.
The man's contemplative expression brightens.
Unless, if you want to cross the river, we can ferry you. Everyone for miles around will know your names, for we owe our lives to you. Whenever you want to get to the other bank, just let us know.
You thank him politely and spend the night as honored guests in Malchius's house. All evening, people come to the house to give you small gifts and swear eternal thanks. The next day, you depart. First amidst protest, then grateful cheers. You see a light through the trees some way from the path. It inevitably brings to mind your encounter with the woodcutters. You tell the dwarves about your encounter with the woodcutters and how you intimidated them.
Ha! Very dwarf-like, but I think we'll have to teach them a lesson anyway.
Humans are not our enemies, Boindil.
Thinking about it, they do deserve it.
Boindil grins widely, and before Boandal can stop him, he stomps off. You lie awake in your camp and think about the woodcutter's roast that you had for dinner. The rabbit was the best thing you've eaten in a long time. It tasted of victory. You and the twins approach Goodwater. A huge army of orcs has surrounded the village on 3 sides. You see smoke and fire and hear the battle cries. The village is holding out, but for how long?
Oh, now it's getting exciting! Archers in front of them, 3 dwarves behind. I wouldn't like to be in their shoes. At once.
What is it?
Huh? On my way!
Huh?
And what now?
Yes?
Yes?
Huh? Huh?
Huh? On my way.
And what now?
Yes? Huh? Damn it! How many more of them are there?
And what now?
Yeah! And again. Tungdil! Yeah! What are you doing with your axes over here?
Understood.
What is it?
What is it? As good as done.
Huh?
Huh?
Yes?
Yes?
Damn it! How many more of them are there? Yeah! Yeah! Did you see that, men? Now they are warriors! Hey, you down there! I'll send you some reinforcements! Let's stick it to those runts!
All right then. Stay close to us.
All right, Dad! On my way! Huh? What is it? Vile creature! Who's next?
Huh?
Yes!
What is it?
Easy! Yes?
And what now? He hardly
What is it?
fight.
I didn't hit you very hard!
Huh?
Huh? Yes? Tungdil! What to do with your axes over here?
Yes?
What is it?
Huh?
Kill.
Yeah! Ow! Another one bites the dust.
Huh?
What is it?
Yes?
Yeah!
Kill. What is it?
Damn it! How many more of them are there?
Huh?
Yeah!
He hardly put up a fight.
The orcs' fighting spirit lessens with every fallen comrade. After Kragnar's death, they finally attempt to flee the battlefield. Very few escape the mercenaries' arrows. The leader of the mercenaries approaches you, surrounded by his soldiers. His expression is one of recognition, caution, perhaps even awe.
You're the groundling, dwarf, who reinforced our gate a couple of days ago. It served us very well, just as your axes have.
A young mercenary runs towards you. He has something in his hands that he clearly wants to get rid of quickly.
Commander, we found this on their leader. It feels strange.
The commander looks at the amulet in the man's hand and makes no suggestion that he plans to touch it himself. You take your opportunity.
May I?
You take the amulet and can feel a tingling on your skin. It is clearly magical.
Keep it, as a sign of our gratitude.
The commander bids you farewell with a short nod and moves away. It would seem he thinks he's made a good deal. By the evening campfire, Boindil rummages around in his rucksack and pulls out a cheese wrapped in a cloth. He sticks a fist-sized piece on a spit and grills it on the fire.
Ah, there's nothing better than grilled cheese at the end of a long day.
The smell it gives off makes you hold your breath.
Oh, it smells like my socks after weeks of marching in my boots.
Oh, picky, are you? Hardly surprising, considering you were brought up by humans. It's ruined your taste.
Boindil holds the stinky cheese at the end of the stick under your nose.
Eat, and stop complaining.
You pull the warm piece of cheese from the stick. It tastes dreadful. Your fingers will smell of it for the next few days, and probably your mouth will too. You approach Scalebrook through its expansive fields and spot smoke rising up into the sky. A short while later, you can hear the cries of battle, and finally you can smell the tallow on the orc's armor. Scalebrook is at war.
Quick, we have to help those people.
Huh? Huh?
Huh?
And what now? You're very hard. He hardly put up a fight. What is it? All right.
Yes?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Find somewhere safe to hide. We'll come back for you once we've saved the other villagers.
What is it? What is it?
Huh?
And what now? Yes?
Yes?
Pow! Kill. Another one bites the dust. What is it? Huh?
Uh-huh.
Huh? That's it! They're fleeing! I don't think so, they're just rallying!
And that's what we should do too. Come on.
Thank you so much. You saved us.
Not yet. The orcs are rallying. You must join us.
But we can't.
You must. Here they come.
Yes?
Yes?
And what now?
Huh?
Huh? You're the one who bites the dust. Huh? Who's next? Too easy. I didn't hit you very hard.
Yes?
And what now? He hardly put up a fight. What is it?
Huh?
Too easy. On my way. Yeah. Who's next? As good as done. Yeah. Huh?
While Boindale still hunts the last of the orcs through the alleyways of the village, you and Boandal are already helping search for survivors. Various villagers, all with shocked, ashen faces, come and thank you for saving them. A middle-aged man nervously steps from one foot to the other and tries to force a smile.
My father, the village elder, he is dead. I think I must follow in his footsteps, so I thank you in the name of Scalebrook. He left behind some gold as a dowry for my sister. She's...
The man bows his head, produces a leather pouch, and kneads it with trembling hands.
If only you'd come earlier.
But before you can reply, the man takes a deep breath and forces himself to look at you.
What am I saying? How ungrateful. Thanks to you, many of us are still alive. My daughter may be able to marry one day, thanks to your bravery.
The man hesitates briefly, then thrusts the leather pouch towards you.
We won't accept your gold. Bury your dead, rebuild your village, and be a good father to your daughter.
Boandal looks at you, and you think you can see an approving nod. The man opens his mouth to say something, but then he just shakes his head and finally starts again.
I thank you, dear sir, but there is no way I can let you go with empty hands. Here, take this. My father bought it from a trader, one of your kind.
You see a camp with a wagon and two people on the edge of the path. Behind them, Black Saddle towers up above a thick, dark forest, about a half a day's journey away. Two horses are standing near the covered wagon, grazing. You can make out the shapes of boxes and barrels on the wagon. The two humans are wearing smart clothes and are sitting next to a large campfire. They don't seem to have noticed you yet. You don't want to give them a shock, so you address them while you're still a distance away.
Hello, friends. Is there any space by your fire?
The two traders look up and visibly jump when they see you three dwarves.
Ah, hello. Yes, of course.
It doesn't escape your attention that you seem to be causing the traders some uneasiness, but you take up their offer and sit down. The twins follow your example.
We're only travelers. We're looking for someone who's said to live on Black Saddle. A hermit.
Someone who lives here?
The traders exchange amazed looks.
If they live here, they must be mad.
Normally we wouldn't stop and rest here, but the horses are too exhausted. Our departure from Parista was delayed, and we must have driven them too hard.
Why does Blacksaddle make you feel uneasy? It doesn't look particularly inviting, but it's only a mountain.
Only a mountain? You don't know the legend.
The trader looks at you and the twins for affirmation, but you all shake your heads.
Blacksaddle was once known as Cloudpiercer, and it towered up into the heavens, the upper slopes of pure gold and the summit covered in snow. The humans wanted to attain this wealth, but the smooth slopes and the dazzling summit made the climb impossible. They called on the Dwarves to help them. They were able to tunnel up through Cloudpiercer to the top, but they hollowed it out and carried away the gold. The humans demanded that the treasure be shared, but the Dwarves refused, and as they argued, the mountain began to tremble. There were too many holes inside for it to hold together. It collapsed and buried both greedy parties underneath it. The mountain lost its tremendous size and its beauty, and ever since has haunted both humans and Dwarves with its erosive hatred, causing even the rocks to turn black over time.
Pfft. Never heard of it. Sounds like human tittle-tattle. Dwarves would never hollow out a mountain so much that it collapses.
You come from Parista. How are things there?
No news to speak of, I'd say. Well, except for Nudin the Knowledge Lusty.
You know Nudin the Knowledge Lusty. Lot Yonan introduced him to you many years ago during a visit.
What about him?
Oh, nothing really. Just rumors.
You nod at the trader to continue.
He's behaving strangely and disappears into his tower for days on end.
Merely looks ill, apparently. Well, that's what someone I know said. Perhaps he got a spell wrong.
Later in the night, after eating together and some friendly conversation by the campfire, you all decide to sleep. But you take the first watch. It's a night in which nothing happens, and the next morning the traders set off early. After breakfast, you also continue on your journey. After a march through the thick pine forest, Blacksaddle, the sinister tabletop mountain, and your journey's destination rises up before you.
Are you sure that the Famulus lives here?
Yes, according to Lot Yonan.
Although you try to put a lot of assurance into your voice, you too see no signs that anyone lives here.
No castle, no tunnel, no camp. There's nothing here but mountain.
Then we'll have to take a closer look.
You do that, scholar. We'll be waiting for you here.
You think about objecting, but it would just be a waste of breath.
Even the dark, evergreen forest seems to be afraid of the Black Mountain. No trace of Guren here either. If he's close, then there must be some kind of cave somewhere in the mountain. I can only climb a little way here. There must be a better way. An old tree. Looks like it could fall down at any moment. There we go. If Goren is here, then he is further up. I should find some kind of clue before I climb down again. Too steep. I can't get a grip anywhere. I should be able to get up here. Oh. Phew. That was close. I hope this is all worth it. Here's a... No, forget it. Definitely a rock face. There's something engraved on it.
You realize with surprise that they are runes in the Dwarven language.
Built with the blood of our enemies, be unyielding as the rock, and soak the land in their blood. Huh? Hello? Master Goren? Lot Yonan sent me to bring some items back to you. My inquiries are almost at an end. That means I can finally go to be with my sunshine. I have never been to Greenglade, but I think I will like it there. I deposited my most valuable things in the grave of Horengarth before my departure and secured it with magic. The password is...
You recognize the following words as rune names, but they're written in the learned language, so you don't know which they are.
Greenglade. Oh, great. Useful. An eternal flame. I know who taught him that.
You see sketches and notes on the architectural features, statues and wall reliefs. It seems Goren spent a lot of time studying this place.
Maybe he's kind of a dwarf historian, or maybe he's just a treasure hunter. Hello? Is anyone there? Goren is in Greenglade to visit his sunshine. Greenglade is in Girdlegard. We can't have fallen in love with a pointy here, can he?
It looks as though Goren lived in the fortress for a while. It also seems that he left several lunar orbits ago.
He's not stealing. It would just be a shame if the provisions went off.
A series of weapons that are all clearly of dwarven origin. The spider webs and rust suggest they have been here for quite a while. Maybe even centuries.
siblings. The fortress belongs... It belongs to the Dwarf haters. Lorimber's dwarves are not only as unyielding as a mountain, they are also as destructive as an avalanche, and would batter into lesser kingdoms just as relentlessly. The Four should find no salvation in Vrachus, only eternal damnation, so that they suffer indescribable torment between the worlds.
You have heard of the dwarf haters, but this is the first time you have read their hateful words. You feel sick and turn away. You have difficulty deciphering the scroll.
Throw the firstlings in the forge, beat the secondlings to a pulp. The fourthlings are... The rest is illegible. Lorimber, the progenitor of the thirdlings.
In most of the chronicles about the 5 dwarfen kingdoms, only very little is written about the thirdlings, and what is written is full of disgust. They are called traitors, or worse. It would seem that even the thirdlings worship Vrachus, but in all the other kingdoms his shrine would be the biggest, not the statue of the kingdom's progenitor. A couple of gold coins are in the bowl in front of the shrine.
Can't do any harm. Born of stone, forged in battle, arise reborn from the blood of the enemy.
You're not sure if you really want to know what was once in this basin. The whole place gives you the feeling that a decent dwarf shouldn't hang around too long.
Sarcophagus. Perhaps I could open it. A rune. Clearly magical. Graves. Could be buried here. Ah! That's it! Garent's most valuable belongings. Letters from his lover, a silk scarf that must have belonged to her, and a medallion.
So, scholar, What are the results of your inquiries?
There is an abandoned fortress in the mountain, and I think it belonged to the Thirdlings.
Boindill's eyes narrow.
The blasted dwarf killers!
A Thirdling fortress? Here? In the middle of Girdlegard? We must let High King Gundrabur know about this.
The fortress has been long abandoned by the looks of it. Anyway, I can't go to Ogre's death until I have completed my quest. Goren is in Greenglade.
Huh.
A Thirdling fortress? Here, in the heart of Girdlegard. That's strange, isn't it?
And worrying. But they've always been wily. They move in the shadows and kill there too if they can. Do you know their story?
I've read about it. Lorenberg, their progenitor, rejected the name that Vrakas gave him, who in turn did not give him any special talent, so his kingdom studied war.
It helps them defending the East, but it also meant they ended up confronting the other kingdoms. No dwarf would ever even think of injuring one of his kind, never mind killing them. But the dwarf killers are proud of it. When they were even more powerful, they wanted to become the rulers of all dwarves. They are envious of our skills. They haven't been heard of for a long time, but you can be sure there isn't a single dwarf alive who doesn't hate them.
The High King? Why do you want to bring me to him?
All right then. It's about the choice of the new High King. Gandagar, the king of the Fourthlings, is with his entourage in Ogre's death and is supposed to ascend the throne.
But our acting High King Gundrabur wants to prevent that from happening. He fears that Gandagar wishes to instigate a war against the elves.
But what have I got to do with that?
Boindill is about to say something, but is silenced by a nudge in the side from his brother.
High King Gundrabur will explain everything when the time comes.
You look distrustfully from one twin to the other. Boindill has donned an innocent expression, and Boendal doesn't give you the impression that he has anything else to say on the matter.
What does this King Gandagar have against the elves?
Dwarves and elves just don't get along. Vrakas and Sertalia made us that way.
I know that, but going to war for just that, after all this time?
Well, there must be more behind it. They say that the king of the Fourthlings is full of hatred and is a hothead in this matter.
Whatever, your High King must wait. I have a quest to carry out in Greenglade.
But our quest is...
Boindil raises a placatory hand and throws his rucksack onto his back in preparation.
Let it be, dear brother. Look at him. He has made his decision, and you will not be able to change his stubborn dwarven mind.
You can't help but smile.